Let's talk about laser sights for a few minutes. Specifically, ways to sight them in. There are two, and laser parallax. All lasers have parallax, and it's something we ought to understand if we're going to use them. Contrary to some popular belief, the bullet doesn't go where the laser dot is. It goes close, but because of parallax, there is an offset in where the laser is pointing and where the bullet actually goes. So we're going to talk about some of that. There are two ways to sight in a laser. One is parallel, and that means the laser beam is parallel to the center line of the bore. And the other way is what I'll call converged sighting. And converged sighting means that the center line of the bore and the laser beam intersect at some distance. And there are some characteristics that are distinctly unique about each one of them. And I've got some targets that I've shot both ways to illustrate the difference. Let's begin with the parallel sighted, and as you can see in this picture, the TLR2 laser is offset from the bore of a G17 by almost 2.5 inches. That means wherever you put the laser beam, the bullet is going to hit almost 2.5 inches higher than the point of impact indicated by the laser beam. One of the good things about parallel sighting is it's always the same. It doesn't change as the target gets closer to or further away from the shooter. Okay, let's see how the parallel sighted works out shooting. Now, I've already got the laser zeroed in as a parallel sight, so it's ready to go. What I'll do is shoot 5 shots each at 3, 5, 7, 10, and 15 yards, and what we would expect to see is a cluster or a group of shots about 2.5 inches above the point I'm aiming at with a laser. I've taken pictures after each 5 shots at the various ranges so you can see how the group develops. Here we go. First is the 3-yard shot, then the 5-yard shot, then the 7-yard shot, the 10 yards, and finally the 15. And as you can see, they are in fact in a group about 2.5 inches above that black dot in the center of the target I was setting the laser on. Okay, next let's take a look at converged sighting. And again, what I mean by that is that the laser beam will intersect the center line of the bore at one specific distance. At any distance other than that, you get a situation like this. And this is what I call overreach. It means the laser beam is reaching past, or not quite to, if you're closer, the point of intersection. So here's what happens with this. If you have your target closer than the point of intersection, and you put the laser beam right on the point you intend to hit, you're going to hit high. If you're right at the point of intersection, the bullet should hit where the laser is indicating. If you're further away or past the point of intersection, you're going to be shooting low when you put the laser beam right on the point of impact you want it to go. Now, I've got a sequence of shots just like before. I've sighted in the laser here at 7 yards, so that point of intersection occurs at 7 yards. That's halfway between 0 and 15 yards, and 15 yards is as far as I could go. And we'll actually get to see some shift in point of impact as we watch the targets. And I've taken pictures after every 5 shots so you can see what's going on here. Okay, here's the first target. You'll notice I've put a black dot, that's a 3/4 inch black dot, over the X, and I had to do that because at the longer ranges I just simply couldn't see the X to index the laser on it. So the black dot helps with that. And this is the first 5 shots at 3 yards, and yes, that's 5 shots. And what you want to notice here is they're shooting high. Remember I said if you're closer to the target than the point of intersection, you would shoot high. Well, I'm shooting high here. Here's the next 5 shots. Very pleased with this, and you can see they're in a straight line straight down from the first 5, and that's because now I'm closer to the intersection point, so the shots are starting to come down. And here's the shots right at the point of intersection, 7 yards, and I'm having to set that 7 yards visually, so I may be off a wee bit, but you can see the hits have started to just about center on the black dot here. Well, by the time I got out to the 10-yard range, my black dot was gone, and I actually put one in there, and when I got through, it was gone again. But you can see the shots are just below the X, and that's because I'm a little further away, so now I'm starting to shoot below where the laser indicates. Well, here's the 15-yard shots, and I was pretty well shot out by this time. This is close to 100 rounds of highly concentrated, trying to hold the gun perfectly still at 15 yards. And you'll see I've even got 3 dots because the laser was hiding the center dot. I needed something to help me align a little bit better, and they're still spread out. But the interesting thing is the group is low, just as we would expect it to be once we go past the intersection point of the laser and the center line of the bore.